Javed Akhtar, welcome to CNN News 18.
Thank you.
Javed sir, you're really a hero, someone who fights for the well-being of the music community against all the odds. I just want to tell everybody that in the year 2010, few producers put a ban on you because you demanded royalty for the lyricists and music composers for their work, and you succeeded in your efforts when Parliament approved amendments to the Copyright Act in the year 2012. And now, according to SISAC Global Collection Report, IPRS is ranked as the fourth largest society by revenue in the Asia Pacific region. Your efforts are really paying off, sir. You're the chairman of IPRS. You all have come a long way. How do you see this evolution of IPRS as a body responsible for collecting royalties for the musicians?
Thank you very much for this compliment. But in all honesty, I must tell you that I could manage to do it because of two reasons. One, the whole music industry of India was united and together, and they were willing to go to any extent to help me. One. Another, I was fortunate enough that the president had nominated me for Rajya Sabha, so I had tremendous access with every political party, every big leader, ministers, opposition, so on. And I wonder if this could have happened if I had not gone to Rajya Sabha. So perhaps so many things happened together, and the right cards were dealt somehow that we achieved our goal. Yes, it has made a world of a difference, and there were many people who were misunderstanding it. I mean, some big producers, some big film stars, some music company, they were thinking that perhaps we are going to take away everything and we'll swindle them and they will not get any money and so on. I don't know what was told to them, but they were definitely misinformed. And they tried their best and whatever they could do to stop this bill, but they failed. And today, if they have any objectivity and honesty, they would know that it has not harmed them at all. Not a penny has been taken away from them because of this bill. The fact is that every day the value of their music is only increasing. While we on the other side, IPRS, which is a society of writers and composers, we were making something like all over India. I mean, there is Tamil music, there is Telugu music, there is Kannada music, there is Punjabi music, there is Bengali music, there is Hindi music. Put together, our collection of royalty was per annum around 40-45 crore. Now, we took over this society in 2017. This is 2023, 6 years. Out of those 6 years, 2 years can be given to Corona. From 45 crores, we have reached 565 crores this year. And this is also nothing. If it continues like this, government has been very cooperative. They have understood our problem and they have understood that this is a right and this is in all fairness we should get this royalty. If we get this kind of cooperation and help from the government on one hand, and if we keep focusing and trying the way we have been doing for the last 4-5 years, in 2-3 years, maybe 4 years, we will cross 1,000 crore. Because in spite of the law of the land, there are many sources from where we are still not getting our royalty.
Like FM channels?
Yes, like FM channels.
They say reluctant.
Yeah. But obviously, since it's the law of the land, you can't deny there are certain production houses. They are not doing, falling in the line. But how far they will do this? Because it's the law.
Do you think radio was the mood maker of the nation for a long time? It used to create some of the finest songs for the public. And today, when over 1 lakh songs are uploaded on internet every day, there's a big need for an official or a credible music chart.
Yes.
Do you think so?
Well, yes, it is interesting that there are so many today. People have so many sources to access music and popular music. But what is unfortunate that still there is a big segment, big part of the music industry that is not paying a royalty. Even today, although that is the law of the land, that they have to. And we have gone to the court to, against some people, we are negotiating with some people, but that is sad that there are so many people who are not adhering to the law.
Who are these people, sir? Which organizations or companies are these?
We are not getting any royalty from FMs. Some people say 40 lakh. Some people say 15 lakh. Well, okay, I'll be happy in 15 lakh. There are 15 lakh sources, although some insist that they are not less than 40 lakh. Where music is played in this country, restaurants, hotels, bars, clubs, and so on. And they are supposed to pay us music, the royalty. Out of such a huge number, we get royalty from 15,000.
Sir, in the West, even a song producer gets royalty. Why in India we don't value our musicians like West, sir?
And that's true. That's very true. That's very true. But you see, please understand, copyright is not a flower. Copyright is a bouquet. So there are different rights within copyright. And this right that we are talking about is called underlying work. Underlying work is composition and the lyric. So IPRS is Indian Performing Rights Society. This is what is performed, the composition and the words, lyric. And we are asking for that royalty. There are many other royalties. There are many other factors, but that's not our department. Our department is restricted, our company or our society is restricted to the music director and the lyricist. Now there is another society that is collecting singers' songs. There is another society that is collecting the sound recording right, one who has recorded the song.
Wow.
That right is different. That PPL collects that.
Okay.
ISRA collects the singers' right. And IPRS collects strictly for the music composers and the lyrics.
Sir, do you think songwriters are like that fine wine who become better with age? I mean, the biggest example is your song from the film Archies. I really like the song Wawa Voom. It's really complementing the fabric of the film. Do you think writing gets better with age?
No, not necessarily. Actually, I believe that suppose you are 50, although you are not 50, you are much younger than that. So I'm just giving you an example. If you are only 50, then you are 1 year old, that is 50 years old. Actually, ideally, the 10-year-old boy, the 15-year-old boy, the 25-year-old young man, the 30-year-old man, the 40-year-old matured man, all of them should be alive in you. And they should be at your beck and call. So I think I am 78, but these songs of Archies are written by that 15-year-old boy who is still alive in me. Songwriters or dialogue writers are a kind of a dormant actors. Yeah. You see, because like an actor is given a role of a farmer or a king or underworld man, so every time he has to put himself into that mindset and try to understand the psyche of the character and perform accordingly. The same way a writer, a dialogue writer or a songwriter has to put himself or herself in that mindset that this song is not my song. I am not singing it, I am not writing it. It is written and sung by a boy called Archie who was perhaps 17 or 18 years old. Now, what Archie would think? So that is where, in a way, you become a dormant actor and you perform that.
So, when you change the image of Indian Hindi film hero and you introduce the angry young man to Hindi cinema, how do you define the leading man of today's cinema? Stories have become real, even the real issues have become very real.
That's true. I mean, life is not linear and nothing moves in one line. Many things happen together, some desirable, some not so desirable. And it has happened and it will always happen at any point of time. So today, the film, I mean, when I see OTT, I get so impressed by the level of performance of actors. I mean, they are unbelievably good at it. And not one, many of them. So, technology, camera work, editing, sound have taken a leap. There is no doubt about it. What happens, with time, we remember good films and we forget bad films. When we talk of that so-called golden era, we remember Mother India and Pyasa and Mughal Azam and Ganga Jamna and Avara and so on. But every year, that time, India was making almost 900 films. Yes. And you remember only 9 films. Yes. After so many years. Because all that kachra is gone away. That is forgotten. And the milestones are remembered. This is happening even today. A lot of films are very, very mediocre. They are below standard. But some of them are exceptionally good. They'll be remembered. And intellectual level and the depth of cinema is increasing by the day. There was a time, say perhaps 10, 15 years back, then I used to think that, all right, they have achieved certain finesse, certain sophistication, but they have yet to get that depth what Bimal Roy or Guru Dutt could represent. But I can see that we are moving in that direction. And perhaps our young filmmakers may achieve deeper senses and more sensitive and more realistic depiction of life than what was done in the past. So I am very optimistic about the future. And yes, bad work will also continue, and the bad work will be even worse than what was done. The way good is improving, bad is also improving in its own direction. So that you can't stop.
Sir, coming back to the songs, how do you see the state of Hindi film songs today? This year is about to finish, and the only song that stood out are Beshram Rang from Pathan or maybe Chalya from Jawan. Why Hindi film songs have become so uninspirational? I mean, most of the songs which are coming out, even in the indie space, sounds like clones of each other.
That's true. That is sadly, I must accept it's a fact, but I will not blame the songwriters at all. It is not that they are not talented. Some of them are very talented people. They have a great vocabulary at their disposal, and they are capable of doing work. One can see that much better than what they are doing. The problem is when the marketing departments get hold and control of the creativity suffers. There are many things which are not in their favor. One, the new generation of directors was brought up on Western or maybe continental cinema. They are a bit shy and awkward about the lip sync songs. Yeah. So the songs, most of the songs have gone in the background. Or lip sync songs are so-called item songs because you are not supposed to take them seriously. I mean, this is just fun. So the characters are singing. Live tempo has increased, so it is inevitable that the music tempos will also increase. But the tempo has become rather frantic. So there are 3 things. One, the situation is not conducive, which is given to them. There is no depth in it because a real emotion doesn't need a song. There they have the dialogue or visual or whatever. But there was a time when characters would share their agony or sense of loneliness or hurt or deprivation with the audience through a song. That has gone. Any moment which is deep, any moment which is poignant, doesn't have a song anymore. If at all there is a song, there is a background. So you don't identify with it so much. So situations that are given to the songwriter of today are not deep enough to write a good song. The tempo of the music is not sympathetic to the words. And everybody wants a kind of item song. Item. Now, what is an item song? Mera Naam Chin Chin Chu was also an item song, but that was not the only kind of song in that film. There were different kind of songs. Today, there is a desperate desire to turn every song into a chartbuster. It doesn't work like this. So you see, today's songwriter is working under a great handicap. He's not challenged. As a matter of fact, he is asked to reduce his height
and make a hit.
But you know, I mean, it's a kind of a conveyor belt production. It's going on, same kind of song, same kind. 90% songs have the same beat. That's all. So, in-depth songs have gone away. Right. Not that they are not capable of writing. They are not given that situation.
Sir, you just mentioned Mera Naam Chin Chin Chu.
Yeah.
I remind you of that song and the lyrics of it. It has lyrics like Babuji मैं चीन से आई चीनी जैसा दिल लाई सिंगापुर का यौवन मेरा शंघाई की अंगड़ाई. Some can say it was not a great poetry. You, of course, have written a song like that, which has some quirky lyrics. The song is called Darde Disco, which I have read somewhere that you had some reservations when you were asked to write for that song.
ये जो है दर्द डिस्को की कहानी क्या है?
But you had some hesitance about writing Darde Disco, if I'm not wrong. You were hesitant to write those lyrics.
No. I'll tell you the story. Farah Khan's demand was that give me a song which has no meaning. It should be a meaningless song. Because the situation is meaningless. And within the film, it is a film. This film was about the filmmaking and about a film is being made within the film. And the hero insists that I want an item song. And while there is no place for an item song in that particular story, but he insists and he puts his foot down, so a song is prepared. Now, she says because it is wrong and it is absurd, I want an absurd song. The song should not have any meaning. So I said, okay. I have written another song for a film called Darmiyan, where it had one regular mukra and two antaras without a single word. There were only sounds because that was their demand. To be a competent songwriter, you don't have to be a great poet. You have to be very, very versatile. That you should be able to write any kind of thing. And usme, if you will have a Puritan attitude, or say, attitude of arrogant intellectual, that doesn't work. Because a lot of songs need very light-hearted attitude. A lot of songs require appreciating fun songs. So you should have all the capability, write serious songs, write meaningful songs, emotional songs, songs for a street urchin, songs for a farmer, songs for a king, songs for a modern educated man, songs for uneducated person, songs for youth, songs for middle-aged people. They are different. The vocabulary should change, the style should change, and that's the challenge to you. Like people have a very narrow view about your point of view about poetry. This is poetry. You see, I believe that some of the most difficult songs that I have written were for rock on. And I'm very proud of those songs. That year, I got every award under the sun for Jodha Akbar song. Kehne ko Jashne Bahara Hai. It was a good song, that's true. But at the same time, and these kind of songs have been written many by Sahir or Majru, Shakil Badayuni and so on. But Meri Laundry Ka Ek Bill, a novel, was a new thing.
Yeah.
And you needed a lot of courage to write that kind of song. Not only that, because what happened, that till Rock On, such kind of songs were written only for comedians. and using such English words was like making a comedy song.
Yeah. Mocking.
Yeah. So वो जो है महमूद, आयस जौहर, Johnny Walker used to sing these kind of song which is sung by the hero, song which is sung by a rock group, and it should sound like written by a rock group. It should not sound like a film song. No. This was the effort, and I think we succeeded in doing that.
Very accomplishing.
Now somebody can say, somebody will come, high and dry person, that what is this? ये मेरी ना लॉन्ड्री का एक बिल, ये आप पोइट्री लिख रहे हैं, ये गाना आप पैसे के लिए लिखते हैं, but that person will be wrong.
Do you think you perform brilliantly when you are under pressure? I mean, you have said in the past that how you have written many songs that you took less than 10 minutes to write. The songs were तुमको देखा तो ख्याल आया, एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा, देखा एक ख्वाब तो ये सिलसिले हुए. Do you perform well under pressure, sir?
No, it's not that. You should get the right idea, then writing is not difficult. It's the angle, it is the hook line, what is the centrifugal point of the thought. That is important. Once you get that, then you can structure a proper song. It should be scattered. There should be some kind of togetherness from beginning to the end.
What a coincidence, sir. All these songs that I mentioned are about dreams. Do you dream a lot, sir? Like देखा एक ख्वाब तो ये सिलसिले हुए, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया. Yeah. Do you dream a lot, sir?
Well, if I would have been in the court, I would have said there is a difference between khab and khayal.
Okay.
So it can't be said that every time I'm writing about khab. Sometimes I write about khayal also, which is different from khab.
But what a coincidence, na? All these songs that you have written in under 10 minutes, they have this word, तुमको देखा, एक लड़की को देखा.
I had not written this, तुमको देखा. Yeah, sorry. The other song in 10 minutes, it was तुमको देखा जो ख्याल आया, that was under 10 minutes. But it happens sometimes. I mean, that should not be the criteria, and we should not generalize that every time I write a song within 10 minutes. It's not true. But that song was written within 10 minutes.
You know, you have this wide and a marvelous repertoire of your work. It's almost impossible to pick one song and point out an easy or the most challenging song. But do you think your song Ghanan Ghanan, whose lyrics are not easy to follow, they're slightly complex, not just for the listeners, but also for the actors who are performing on the song in Lagan?
You see, in that film, most of the songs were kind of community songs. So many people were participating in a song, and different characters who generally are not the part of the song in Hindi films. So it was a kind of a challenge. And I was really wondering that are we doing the right thing or wrong thing? I mean, there was only one romantic song, that Ori Chori. Besides that, all the songs of that film were community songs. The whole community used to sing that. So that was another experience, but it did well.
So, you know, song always had that power to bring revolution or can be instrumental in bringing change in the society. Even during the freedom struggle, songs played a big role. Words have the power to change people's heart and influence minds. Would you please like to talk to us about how music can empower a message?
I think it happens that there are certain ideas, certain ambition, there's certain feeling that an average person in the society is feeling, has, but can't define it, can't give a face to it, can't put proper words for that. But it's a feeling. It's some kind of uneasiness in the person, but the person is not able to give words to it. Can't turn it into a thought. There is a difference between feeling and thought. And then comes somebody who gives words to those feelings which were already there in the mind of so many people. And then they take it, lap it up. Yes, this is it. This is what I wanted to say. This is what I feel. Now, thank you for giving me the word for my feeling. So, and when they get the word, they become more clear about their feeling. But the feeling has to be in the society, in the common man, in the person. And the song will go and give birth to that feeling. And that is why the person will like the song.
The other film of yours, which is completing 20 years later this month in November, is your film called Kalona Ho.
Yes, yes.
Each song in that album is very hummable and has that everlasting quality to it. You, of course, took some days to write the title track of the film. May I please request you, sir, to maybe today jog your memory and give us an insight into the how was it writing songs to that tune?
You
And
know,
how
that song was a kind of a spine of that script. And obviously, it was given that dignity within the script. And it would come at different situations, different dramatic moments. So there was Mukhra, which was common, but different antaras or different stanzas were different, written for particular situations. I'm very thankful to people that they liked it so much. I mean, it was a great, great tune, great tune. I remember very clearly that we had decided, Karan decided that all of us will go to Pune, stay in a particular hotel, and work on the music. I reached there one day late, so I went to the suite, which was turned into a kind of a recording theatre, and it had all the musical instruments and everything. And Shankar Ihsan Loy were working there. So I entered and I said, all right, give me the tune. Let me write a song. And they played this tune to me. And I said, I will not write the song to this tune now, because I know that I'll have to stand up on my toes to be able to write words which will come near this tune. It was so good and it affected me so much. So I said, ये तो आप मुझे अलग दे दीजिए, आप मुझे कोई दूसरी सिचुएशन दीजिए, मैं उस पर गाना लिखता हूँ. This I'll write at my leisure. I was so taken away by that tune. It's an exceptional tune, great work. So then, with certain reverence and love and effort, I read that song. So that song was not written in 9 minutes, that's for sure. It took time. And then there were different stanzas for different situations. So I did it at different times. But it took few days. But I should thank Karan for using the song so well that it got important. Sometimes what happens is, even if you have a good song, but it is not given importance in the film, and it has no situation there, and it has just been shot. So it fails to make that kind of impact that Kalhuna Ho made. So it is whether the director or the music director, I think they should get equal credit for this success.
You know, your father told you while you were growing up that, keep your language accessible to the common man. It should be easy. When you written your film that also completed 40 years earlier this year, the film was called Betab, in which you have used a dialogue, a line in which says, "Ghoda tarkash ho gaya hai."
Ghoda
Tarkash ho gaya hogi. Tarkash ho gaya hai.
Sarkash.
Sarkash. What is the meaning of that? And did you have any reservations using that?
That's a technical word they use. वो मेरा बनाया हुआ नहीं है, मगर ये लोग उसके लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं. जो लोग ट्रेनर हैं घोड़े के, वो यही वर्ड यूज करते हैं. अच्छा, वो सरकशी जो है वो है रिवोल्ट. सरकशी जो है वो है बगावत, एक तरह ब्रेकिंग द नॉर्म्स एंड डूइंग व्हाटएवर यू फील लाइक, वो सरकश. तो ये जो है वो क्योंकि ये यूज करते हैं ये वर्ड, तो वो वर्ड एज इट इज हमने यूज कर दिया. और अच्छी बात है इससे। देखिए कभी कभी ऐसे वर्ड इस्तेमाल करें तो दूसरों की वोकैबुलरी भी थोड़ी बढ़ जाती है। अब आपको तो फायदा ही हुआ। अभी एक मेरे पोएम में भी इस्तेमाल किया था कुछ दिन पहले कि किसी का हुक्म है दरिया की लहरें जरा ये सरकशी कम कर ले, अपनी हद में ठहरे। उभरना फिर बिखरना और बिखर कर फिर उभरना गलत है उनका ये हंगामा करना। तो उसमें सरकशी वहां इस्तेमाल की थी। लेकिन वैसे भी क्या होता है कि हाउएवर सिंपल लैंग्वेज और ट्रांसपेरेंट लैंग्वेज यू मे यूज, sometimes some unfamiliar situation or unfamiliar expression or unfamiliar uh, uh, information is being conveyed. So for that, unfamiliar word becomes inevitable. पर ठीक है, अब ये तो जहां तक हो सके करिए, लेकिन अब कोई आदमी जो नहीं जानता है लैंग्वेज तो नहीं जानता है, थोड़ा तो उसे भी 2 कदम आना पड़ेगा ना इधर।
यस यस। मैं मुझे लगा था लोगों ने बोल क्या डिड पीपल हैव रिजर्वेशंस हु वर मेकिंग द फिल्म कि ये वर्ड शायद लोगों को समझ ना आए?
नहीं, नहीं किया ऐसा। एक क्या होता है, साहिर साहब हु वाज अ ग्रेट सॉन्ग राइटर once told me something very interesting. He said कि दोनों लाइंस लोगों को समझ में आना जरूरी है. If they understand one line, that is good enough for them. And that is why he has used the kind of language in the song, in super hit song. न तो कारवां की तलाश है, न तो हम सफर की तलाश है, मेरे शौक खाना खराब को तेरी रह। ये गाना पसंद है आपको?
यस यस।
शौक खाना खराब का क्या मतलब? नहीं जानते ना? तो वो सही कहते थे कि जरूरी नहीं कि हर लफ्ज के माने लोगों को मालूम हो या हर लाइन समझना। अगर 2 लाइन में एक लाइन उनकी समझ में आ रहा है, दैट इज गुड।
सर ये जो गाना आपने मेंशन किया दैट वाज ऑफ कोर्स ये इश्क इश्क है।
हाँ करेक्ट करेक्ट,
डू यू
यही
थिंक
से शुरू होता था।
ये 11 मिनट लंबा गाना है, डू यू थिंक इस गाने में इतने थीम्स हैं, इसमें कवाली है, इसमें पंजाबी है, इसमें ब्रिज भाषा का यूज है, and it's almost like a representation of our country India.
I have also written a 11 minutes long song.
Do you think आज हम ऐसा गाना बना सकते हैं जिसमें इतने थीम्स हो? वो स्टार्ट होता है कवाली से, देन इट सेज कि पंजाबी में चले जाते हैं।
यस यस यस। और फिर उसमें वो बड़ी अवधि वो जब जब कृष्ण की बंसी बाजी निकली राधा सच के, ज्ञान अज्ञान का भेद भुला के लोक लाज को तज के, बन बन घूमी जनक दुलारी पहन के प्रेम की माला, दर्शन जल की प्यासी मीरा पी गई जहर का प्याला। तो ये भी था उसमें।
जब
तो
जब
हाँ, ये 11 मिनट का एक गाना मैंने भी लिखा है, संदेश से आते हैं। दैट वाज आल्सो 11 मिनट्स सॉन्ग।
सो वाज इट टफ बिकॉज़ उसमें इतने इमोशंस हैं, आप बॉर्डर से घर जाते हैं, संदेश से आते में, देयर सो मेनी प्लेसेस यू गो एंड it's really tears up song.
Doing anything with certain level of competence is tough. Doing anything without care for the standard or the finish is easy. अच्छी तरह से तो जूते पे पॉलिश करना भी बहुत मुश्किल काम।
Right. And finally, sir, some of the finest songs that you've written are featured on Shah Rukh Khan, be it Darde Disco or Kal Ho Na Ho. Now you're again teaming up with him again for the film Dunki.
Oh, I have only one song in that film. Only one song. That is the song. The film ends on this song. That is the last song of the film, and it concludes the theme of the story. And that is thanks to Raju Hirani that he insisted that he should have this song, and he wanted me to write this particular song. So that is. I hope you will like the song. It is different because it has a different situation. You can only write a song, different song for a different situation. And Preetham has composed it well. I have written it first and then he has composed it. More often than not, we write to the tune. But here, Preetham was was magnanimous enough to say that sir ये आप गाना पहले लिखिए मैं ट्यून बनाऊं, तो बहुत अच्छा उसने कंपोज किया.
Well, on that happy note, I want to thank you for your time. And in the end, may I please request you, sir, to please recite few lines of your favorite poem for your fans.
चलिए कुछ सुना देता हूँ आपको. करोड़ों चेहरे और उनके पीछे करोड़ों चेहरे, ये रास्ते हैं कि भीड़ के छत्ते, जमीन जिस्मों से ढक गई है, कदम तो क्या तिल भी धरने की अब जगह नहीं. ये देखता हूँ तो सोचता हूँ कि अब जहाँ हूँ वहीं सिमट कर खड़ा रहूं मैं, मगर करूं क्या कि जानता हूँ जो भीड़ पीछे से आ रही है मुझको पैरों तले कुचल देगी, पीट देगी. तो अब जो चलता हूँ मैं तो खुद मेरे अपने पैरों में आ रहा है, किसी का सीना, किसी का बाजू, किसी का चेहरा. चलूं तो औरों पे जुल्म ढाऊं, रुकूं तो औरों के जुल्म झेलूं. ज़मीर तुझको तो नाज है अपनी मुंसफी पर. ओ कॉन्शियंस, यू आर सो वेन अबाउट योर सेंस ऑफ जस्टिस. कॉन्शियंस, ज़मीर तुझको तो नाज है अपनी मुंसफी पर, जरा सुन तो क्या आज का तेरा फैसला है.
Thank you so much and best of luck.
थैंक यू.
Thank you.